last time I stood on this concourse after a game, I was confident, arguably arrogant, I would even possibly say, and I thought I had very good reason to be. I thought the Golden Knights were in tremendous place to take this series. I thought they had figured out the Dallas Stars. I thought that even though they weren't generating all that much offense at 5-on-5, that things were going to go the Golden Knights' way, that they have the answers to the Dallas Stars. Well, here we are a week later. I'm on the same concourse because yet again they're dropping things and there's way too much flashing green going on there. When the Golden Knights won, they turned the thing off. When they lose, when the Stars win, which never happens when I'm here pretty much, they flash Stars win in green, and nobody wants to see that shit. So here I am right now telling you that this is not good. They are in a bad spot, and here's why. Here's why I feel kind of not good, bad, dumb, over the top last time, because the Golden Knights' best players are not playing very well. The Golden Knights' best players are not generating offense at 5-on-5 at the level that they need to beat the team that won the Western Conference in the regular season. The Golden Knights threw a bunch at the wall in pregame, in morning skate today, in changing their lines, in changing their goalies. All of it was done in the hopes of taking a step in the right direction. As I said on the Twitter space this afternoon, what was being shown by making all these changes was that the Golden Knights are not confident that if nothing changes, they are going to win. After game 2, it was clear that if nothing changed, the Golden Knights were going to win. After game 4, it was clear that if nothing changed, the Golden Knights were going to lose. So they make all these changes. They change the goalie. They change the top line. They bring in the rookie who did not have a very good, impactful game and was not very good, despite the yapping that a lot of people have had about it, myself to a degree included. Not as many as some of the people that yap at me on Twitter. Nonetheless, he did not have an impact in this game, Pavel Dorofeev. He is not the reason the Golden Knights did not win this game. However, what my point is that all of these changes indicated we must do something different in order to win a game. You make the changes, you get a gift lead. I didn't think that the first one was a very good penalty. Kind of holding Hurdle in the corner. Refs were not good today. Refs missed a couple of majors that they then don't worry about the refs. The issue is bigger than the refs. The issue is bigger than 5-on-5. The Golden Knights get a lead. Whether it's a gift or not, they get a lead. Mark Stone made a great play, came from underneath the goal, tips it in. We've got a lead. Here you are. You've made the changes. You've put yourself in a different position. You've now got the lead 4 minutes into the game. And yet, you are unable to hold that lead multiple times, right? They took the lead again? No, they went behind. Yeah, they went behind 2-1 and then got it back. Either way, they had a lead. They could not hold it. And more so, the bigger piece of all of it is you make all these changes to improve what you're doing at 5-on-5, to get better at even strength. What happened? It didn't get better. So now where do we go? What is the next step going forward? Which goalie plays? Does it even matter? Which defense pair plays? Does it even matter? Which group of forwards plays? Does it even matter? Can you coax enough out of this team if Mark Stone is not terribly impactful at 5-on-5? Tomas Hurdle is not terribly impactful at 5-on-5. Alex Pietrangelo is actively hurting the team at 5-on-5 in back-to-back games. Will Karlsson is not the offensive weapon that he was in the regular season. Jack Eichel is doing his absolute best, but whoever else is on the line, Jonathan Marchessault can only do so much. He's not having a massively impactful series at 5-on-5 to this point. Also, he's not on the power play. Does not make any sense. We joked about it in the past earlier. There was a comment where the coach said, what idiot coach would not have Jonathan Marchessault on his top power play? That's perfectly fine if you actually play the second power play. To have all this time and Marchessault is not the option, not good. And finally, Shea Theodore is an offensive option, has not been very good at 5-on-5. Chandler Stevenson had the great opportunity, was better in this game as a whole, is unable to finish that at 5-on-5. You can jumble the lines all you want. You can put the younger players in as much as you want. You can flip up these deep pairs and try to kick your team into gear by putting in a different goalie and pissing off your other goalie, and all of it. You can do all of it. But the fact of the matter is the best players are back in the lineup. They are in the lineup. There is zero excuse for losing or for injuries anymore. It cannot be there. You cannot have your best players get outplayed by 20-year-old Logan Stankoven, by 21-year-old Wyatt Johnston, or those might have been backwards. I don't know. They're both very young. It doesn't even matter. They're both ridiculously young. Get outplayed by Jamie Benn, outplayed by Tyler Seguin, outplayed by Matt Duchene. These are players that the Golden Knights should at least, at the very worst, be even with. And then it comes down to who makes the big save, who makes the big who does these big things. I know that these games have been close. I understand that. But the problem for me is that at 5-on-5, when the game is tied or the Golden Knights are ahead, it's trouble. They're not making the inroads that the other team potentially can make. And we have not gotten far enough along with a lead to see if the Golden Knights can lock it back down, which I believe they can. I'm not sure that this set of lines or set of pairs defensively is actually the answer. Nonetheless, we haven't gotten that far because at 5-on-5, most of the way through the game, certainly the first 40 minutes of each game, is going the wrong direction. Game 3 was to a degree an anomaly because it got crazy out of hand. However, over the course of the series, the Golden Knights, after the second period today, I haven't looked beyond that, I tweeted it, the Golden Knights were down 80-40 at high danger chances. 80-40 in all situations. 80-40. That is not a way to win a hockey game. Plain and simple. You do not win series when you get blown off the ice at even strength, and then you're not able to have this elite power play that's going to take it the other way. Now, the Golden Knights power play has been pretty good. Golden Knights penalty kill has been all right. Unfortunate that they gave the ones up today. I didn't think there was a huge breakdown in either of them. Nonetheless, the problem becomes they are not playing to a level that they're going to be able to get leads to then protect. And then in the third period today, there were issues. I am about to talk to you about those issues, but I am getting fired up, so I need to remember to tell you that this Periscope and all Periscopes this season after every single playoff game are brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. The Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas' preeminent law firms specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation. When winning matters, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. The third period was not enough. It was better off the top. I felt like we were heading in the right direction. Things were going the way that it looked like it needed to go. They were getting the chances. They were pushing the numbers forward. They started doing the main thing they have to do at 5-on-5, which is generate from underneath the goal line. Get the puck in deep, lean on these defensemen, and then work it back up. If it gets out to the point, zip it across, work it back down. It was too much getting it in, turning it back, getting it up to the point, and then settling for something too simple, too easy to see, and trying to get tip chances when the Golden Knights are not a particularly great tip team. Yes, you might get one. It is possible that that is a way to tie the game. However, they're probably not going to come if that's your main source of revenue in this particular series. It's probably not going to happen. Where the Golden Knights have an advantage with their bigger bodies, with the guys that aren't really skating up to speed with the opponents, that's been a problem. When that has happened, you have to get the puck in deep, and they're not doing it deep long enough. Hold the puck as far as they can possibly do, and that's going to give you more chances. Now, today, as it went on, the third period got worse and worse and worse, and then when the goalie came out, it went back to high slot shot, try to get three in front, and hope that one of these tips goes in, and Theodore ends up firing it over the top. We can't even get a tip chance on that anyway. As the game went on, it got less and less likely that the Golden Knights were going to score because they were taking less and less risks, which is backward from what should be happening in that type of scenario. You have to throw everything at them throw caution to the wind, get yourself up there, and make your goalie make some stops if that's what has to happen. They did not do that in this particular game. And so what has now happened over the course of 3 games is the way the Golden Knights were winning this series was they were out defending the other team. And with it, it was allowing them to get just enough offense to put themselves ahead and give themselves a chance to hold on to leads and find a way through down the stretch in games 1 and 2. Now, this 5-on-5 has tilted to a level that it's unlikely that they're going to actually get these leads in the first place. You cannot simply defend them because they are finding ways to get transition chances. Forechecking has been an issue that they have not been able to figure out, and I still can't understand why, but 5'8", 170-pound Logan Stankoven is a menace to get the puck around. Why is that the case? That would not have been the case last season. There's no way a player of his stature and his age and his experience would be able to make Mark Stone and Alex Pietrangelo and Alec Martinez and Shea Theodore and Braden McNabb have trouble breaking the puck out. That continues to happen. He's been one of the best players in the series, and that's a series that involves like 11 guys on the 2 teams combined that make $9 million or more, or 8, whatever, 7, a lot. A lot of guys make a lot of money, and this 20-year-old, 21, whatever he is killing all of them. That's a problem. So they have to find a way to get more out of more people. The group of players that are in there are good enough. There is a way to get wins in this series, but it has to be generating more with the puck. They've got to hold the puck more and take more of the game take it by the scruff of the neck and say, you will defend us for longer periods of time. That's what has to happen. Get the puck in, get it back, and then force them to defend. Vegas has become a massive team comparatively to most other teams. They are not a speed team anymore. They are not reliant on transition, having to get these speed opportunities, having to get the breakouts and make those plays. That's not how they're going to get it done, because look down the lineup. First line today, Hertl, not very fast, not probably going to be able to get up in the play with Eichel and Marchessault. And like I said before the game, by moving him up to that line, I think it takes away the transition rush game of what they're going to be able to do. I cannot think of a single time the entire game that Jack Eichel carried the puck across both blue lines with it on his stick. Last game, he did it about 6 times in the second period alone. So for me, that line isn't going to generate all that much on the rush. The next line, Mark Stone, probably not going to generate a lot on the rush with the speed that he's playing at. The following line, maybe they can, Carlson, Howden, Amadio, but that's not like an elite offensive line. That's not a line that you have to have great defensive players against to snuff out. Like that line, Ryan Suter and whoever the leftover player is can do it. They can take away the play as long as they don't give just a terrible opportunity up to them. The fourth line is dump and chase, get it back, and jam the puck in. It worked. They scored a goal. The Golden Knights got a goal from the fourth line and lost this game. Think about that. That can't happen. You cannot get that goal, ties the game. Fourth line gets the opportunity, jam in play. Shouldn't have even been a goal. I don't know what the goalie's doing on that. Nonetheless, it goes in. The game is now tied. You have to find a way to take advantage of that. So because you're not going to be an elite rush team anymore, and you're not going to be able to push the envelope and push the pace as much as you were able to do in the last couple of years, and certainly in the postseason last year, now instead you have to play more in their zone. You have to force them to defend for extended periods of time. Pete DeBoer's defense is built to not allow that. They do what's called a swarm. When there's an opportunity in a puck in a particular spot, usually in the corners, typically anytime somebody bobbles it, when it starts to get a little bit deeper into the zone, closer to the goal, they throw numbers at it. You have to move the puck out of there, protect it, get it to someone else, and utilize the cycle. You can cycle against this team, especially with the size, especially with the top line, the one that you're trying to get after the most, which the Golden Knights have not been able to get after for a good portion of this series, or at least the last 3 games. Have to cycle more, have to lean on them more, have to utilize spending time in the offensive zone to wear them down to then eventually allow yourself to win on second chances and get better chances closer to the goal, draw penalties to get a power play that's actually halfway decent out there. That is what's not happening. Will it happen in game 6? I don't know, because again, you make all these changes indicating something has to be different in this particular game. All of the changes combined really ended up, for me, being a net zero. I don't think any of it helped the team all that much. I don't think any of it hurt the team all that much. They looked like a very similar team to what we have seen in the last couple of games. So here we are in this situation saying we've made all these changes. We've done all of the things, shown all the cards, pulled all the puppet strings, done all of it. Now what? What do you do in game 6? I don't know the answer. I do not know what the next plan is. I don't know which goalie they're going to play. I don't know what set of lines they're going to play. I don't even know which players are going to play. Do you move Barbashev back up? Do you try and put Carlson in a different spot? What do you do in this situation? I don't know. I could see another line jumble. I could see them going right back to lines that have worked in the past. I don't know. I do not have a good answer for what they're going to do. I don't even care which goalie plays. I thought this one was risky. I thought playing Adin Hill was risky. I don't think he looked all that good in the first period. I thought as the game went on, he got a little bit better. But in the end, I think they lose that game with Logan Thompson. I think they lose that game with Adin Hill. I think they lose that game with Marc-Andre Fleury at his best back in the day. It didn't matter because they're not winning at 5-on-5. They're putting themselves in a problem. And again, the main issue for this is that on every single line, there is not two players playing great. It's just not happening. And mainly because most of the best players aren't making that impact. This is a big problem against Pete DeBoer teams. One of the best things Pete DeBoer teams do, and we can think about it in the past, best example is the Colorado series, which is terrifying to think about now, going back to that one where Vegas won 2 games and then lost, or Colorado won 2 games and then Vegas won the next 4. Sounds a little familiar now. Why did that happen? Because they frustrated the best players. They frustrated McKinnon. They frustrated McCarr. They frustrated Rantanen. They made it hard on them the entirety of the time. That's what's happening. Mark Stone not making an impact at 5-on-5. Tomas Hertl not making an impact as much at 5-on-5 as he probably needs to. Marchessault not being there to get these setup opportunities as much as maybe Eichel would like, despite the fact that Eichel looks like he's busting his ass out there. Carlson not having the offense he's normally accustomed to. Stevenson not having the offense he's accustomed to. And then the group of players on the defense are not doing the job that they have done in the past. Noah Hannafin's offense is not chipping in much at all. They're getting almost nothing out of Shea Theodore, and they're getting worse out of Alex Pietrangelo. It's not good. It's not a good situation. Do I think they are completely dead? I do not. I do not. And I'm going to tell you why after I tell you that this road periscope and all road periscopes and all of my travel are brought to you by Vegas Choice or Vegas. I almost went with Vegas Choice Dental. No, that's not. That's my dentist. That's my podcast sponsor. No, when I go on the road, it's brought to you by Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling. You can get $50 off, or you can have them come to your house for $50 to do a pre-summer maintenance special. Take a look at your air conditioner and make sure that it's not going to break when it has to run really hard in a couple of weeks. If they come and something is wrong, then they give you 10% off or 5% off or whichever one of those deals that makes sense for you. It's great. Have Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling come out to your house. Call them. Go to vkdac.com. Tell them SinBin sent you. It'll make me happy. It'll make them happy. They are a fantastic local company. I like them very much. Thanks to Kiki for that. And yeah, saying I'm mad. Yeah, I don't know why this would make you feel better. I'm not really sure. Nonetheless, I'm here yelling at it. That's all there was. So, and yes, Chris, I know how angry you are at me that I said the series was over after 2 games. I get it. I did. I watched 2 games and I thought they're in a great spot. They need to do what they've been doing through 2 games. Now, they haven't been able to do to the same level. The problem is, in those games, they were not allowing as many dangerous chances. The defense, as it has for most of this season, is taking a step back as we've gone on through this series. They're allowing more rush chances. They're turning the puck over more. They're getting themselves in a position that they are not going to be able to come out from underneath because at 5-on-5, they're not making the impact they need to. I've said it 100 times. I will continue. I did not think this series was going to come down to anything but can Vegas defend. If Vegas can defend at a high enough level, they should be able to win. I still, for the most part, believe that. However, it has gotten worse over time. It has gotten worse as this series has gone on. Where's this one? That was something about barbecue in Game 7. Here we go. Does my prediction Vegas in 7 still stand? I'm losing faith. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm losing faith. I don't know how you don't when you lose 3 consecutive playoff games. It's like impossible to not be concerned with what's going on, to watch the last 9 and arguably 10 because there was an overtime periods in there and say Vegas hasn't been the best team, hasn't been the better of the 2 teams. I've told you from the beginning, this is the best team the Golden Knights have faced in any playoff series in their history. I still believe that. I believed it when it was 2-0. I believe it right now. I think this is the best team they have ever faced in a playoff series. I believed that they would be able to defend at a higher level because I thought what Pete DeBoer's teams do, Vegas would be able to defend. The problem is Vegas's problem throughout a majority of this season has been puck management. They make mistakes with the puck that inevitably lead to outrageously dangerous chances the other way. They did so little of that through games 1 and 2 and made it look easy, made it look like we're not going to turn the puck over because we finally have the team that is healthy, that is ready to go, that is deep, that's not going to turn the puck over. Well, then we came back to Vegas, and suddenly we're turning the puck over again. Tonight, turning the puck over again. And then there's the last piece, which is discipline and frustration. This is where I'm going to try to flip it into a positive if I can here, because what we've seen so far has been frustration hurting the Golden Knights. To this point, as these games have gone on, as they've continued to bang their heads into the wall and not generate as much offense as they want at 5-on-5, they have found themselves in situations where they're getting frustrated. Typically, when this team gets frustrated, at first, they take it out on the other team. That happened in the Edmonton series. That happened at a little bit in the Dallas series. That definitely happened at the beginning of the Winnipeg series. We have seen this happen before. It's not abnormal. We saw it during the regular season. It happens. They take it out on the other team. They take bad penalties. Unfortunately, Alex Pietrangelo is an uber competitive player. He was frustrated about what happened on the Sagan hit. He decided to take matters into his own hands. Plain and simply, can't have it. Just like we couldn't have the play in Edmonton last year that got him suspended, you cannot have this in this particular series. So all of the frustration, and there's a great example of in the post-game press conference, you have a player saying we are frustrated and then kind of making a little bit of an offhanded comment about a question that was asked his way about them winning 2 out of 3 games and why they can do it. And it's like, well, you're saying you're frustrated and we can't be frustrated. And then you're showing frustration directly to someone in the media. Like, I understand why they're frustrated. The difference is the next step for the Golden Knights, typically, as it has been in the past, is to turn that frustration on its head and start finding a way to use it positively. Use it by hitting them in a way that's going to help you, help your forecheck, help you recover the puck, help you do the things that's going to help you generate more offense. It does not come down to which lines are out there, what the lines are, what the pairs are, which goalie is going to be. It's not going to come down to that. It's going to come down to, are they going to get better performances out of their best players in the final 2 games of this series? If they don't, they're going to lose, and Dallas will be the better team. And we will have to look back and wonder, what do we have now? But I don't want to do that yet. I'm not ready to do that yet because this is still this defending Stanley Cup champions. This is a team that had not lost 3 games in a row in the playoffs since 2020, unfortunately, to the Dallas Stars. It's a team that has not faced an elimination game until all the way back when Montreal beat them multiple years ago. They have not been in this situation. So the hope is they can take this and step it up to the next level. Use the frustration to do the things that they have to do to start winning these games. hold the puck in the offensive zone more, generate chances from closer into the goal. Doesn't have to be in the middle of the goal. It has to be farther up the ice. The spray and pray stuff isn't going to work. It just isn't against this team, this goalie, and the way that they're clearing and the way that they defend. And simply put, when you play against a team that defends and does some of the shot suppression stuff that this team can do, you have to work to simply live in their zone, to simply have the puck more, so that when they come out and have to change, you can then utilize it to pop those offensive chances. You can keep them from living in your zone a little bit more. They are not a team that's going to kill you in the zone most of the time. They're more likely to kill you on the rush. So spend more time in their offensive zone, so they are going to be unable to get these rushes because they're going to have to change when they finally come out of the zone. That is what has to happen. The frustration that has led to this team being down 3-2 now has to be used, harnessed, and used to dominate the next couple of games. They've got to be better at 5-on-5 by holding the puck, by utilizing more time in the offensive zone to then shift the ice, tilt the ice in their direction, allow them more chances on the goal, allow them more dangerous chances. I don't know if it's going to happen. I've said it before. I was unbelievably confident standing in this very hallway 6 or 7 days ago, whatever it was. I was very confident. I'm literally starting to wonder what's going to happen in the other series. Where are we going next? Well, that's gone. I don't feel that way anymore. We need the best performance at 5-on-5 by far to win this series. The next 2 games have to be the best 2 games that the Golden Knights have played at 5-on-5 in this series. Otherwise, they're going to lose. They're not going to beat this team if they don't get that. Can they do it? Yes, I do think they can do it. Usually, it's the hardest game to win is the 4th in a series. We've seen it before. It was very hard to eliminate this exact team last season for the Golden Knights. Took them 3 chances. Well, if it takes 3 chances for the Dallas Stars this year to eliminate Vegas, Vegas is moving on. They only get 2 chances. So make it the best games by using more of what you're good at. The problem in this series has been not utilizing the size, being the bigger team, being the heavier team, and not utilizing it to get chances by forcing the puck back, by making plays to get it back. That's what needs to happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know. Am I confident the Golden Knights win this series right now? No, I am not. I just ain't. I'm not. And that's because who can be after watching them lose 3 games in a row? It's very hard to be confident. I just think it's going to be hard to do. So to me, you just have to hope that the better play is going to come. Now, to the decision, what is going to happen? What are the plans that are going to happen with moving forward? I think they're going to take Dorofeev back out. Like I said, I don't believe that Dorofeev was going to be a huge impact player in this game. I thought maybe he gets an opportunity and shoots and scores. He's been able to do that in his past. That didn't even come. I don't even know that he registered a single shot. It's just not the type of series that he's going to be a majorly impactful player on because he's not great along the walls, and the playoff intensity is something he's never actually felt. I don't know that that's going to work. I would not go to Cotter in this particular situation simply because I don't know that his hair on fire style is going to really make the difference in regards to keeping what they need to do, which is not be the frustrated team, right? They can't be frustrated, or at least they can't play with that frustration. They have to play with a fire and a passion that says, we're not going to be frustrated anymore because we're going to take this game and take this series back. They have to do that. I don't know that the way Paul Cotter is going to play, and where do you even put Paul Cotter if he comes in? I don't think Mantha makes sense to go back in. I'd probably just go back to Kolazar, let him do his thing, go back to Kolazar on the 4th line. I think I'm moving Carlson to play with Stone. I think that's probably the best option, Carlson, Stone, and Stevenson, and see if maybe that gets you a little bit more. I'm probably putting Barbashev back with Eichel and Marchessault. I think that's when they've gotten the most. So that potentially makes sense. But all of it, like, it's a difficult situation because it's not one player needs to play better. It's a lot of players need to play better. And that becomes the concern. So are they dead? No. Are they heading that way? Maybe. It certainly seems that way. It's going to be very difficult to beat this team. But like I said, 6 days ago, I stood right here and said, I don't know how Dallas can get through Vegas. I don't know how they can break through and do the things that they're going to need to do. Well, they turned it around. They figured it out. They made it happen. Why can't the Golden Knights do it back? The best players have to be better. Mark Stone's got to have his best game of the series in Game 6. It's that simple. Alex Pietrangelo has to have his best game of the series in Game 6. Shea Theodore has to have his best game of the series in Game 6. And then we got to come back here, in which case it's going to be Pete DeBoer. And in Game 7, he's never lost one in his career. And dumb shit seems to happen for whatever reason. This podcast, or this Periscope, is brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. The Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas' preeminent law firms specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation when winning matters. Seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. I don't want excuses. Here's one from Karen. Do you think they're just tired and hurt? I don't want to hear it. I don't want the excuses. No, I don't care. I do not care. The roster is over the salary cap. The roster is playing with a roster that is very, very good. Even if multiple players are injured, I don't want excuses. It's not good enough for me. There are enough good players that are at least healthy enough to play against this team. It's there. No excuses for me. Find a way. If players aren't playing well enough in this particular series, that's it. You didn't play well enough. That's a problem. Maybe we'll have to have a postmortem and figure out, does that mean that we need to not have these players moving forward? I don't know. But no excuses. Can't have it. Will Cassidy get fired? If he does, that's stupid. An absolute mistake, massive mistake if they fire Bruce Cassidy. Part of the reason why I think this team is in the position they were in, even being up 2-0, is Bruce Cassidy. The system works. The system will continue to work defensively, and if they can then find a way to generate just a little bit more offense, they're going to be able to win games against just about every team. The system's good. Bruce Cassidy is good. If they fire Bruce Cassidy, it's an absolute disaster. Will be the dumbest move they've ever made in franchise history. And there have been ones that I have not particularly liked. Some of those have come back and bit me in the butt. That's just part of the deal. That's what's going to happen. Does Vegas force a Game 7? Do they extend a series for the first time in their history? That can't be right. They have to have extended a series at some point. Is that not right? Now I need to think about this. I can't. I'm trying to think of a time that they've won an elimination game. I feel like they have to have won an elimination game at some point. Nonetheless, yeah, I think they can. Somebody look that up for me. They've never actually won an elimination game. That's wild. That's crazy to me. I'm just going back through it in my head, and I can't think of one. Yes, I think they can win this game. Am I going to pick them to win the game? I'm probably not. I'm starting to see it. I know the concerns. I know what's going on. It's going to be difficult. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they've won a multiple Game 7s. They have never won a Game 6 where they've been on the brink. Yeah. So this guy says it's 0-3. Yeah. And yeah, just thinking through it, I don't have one. They went out to Montreal the first time that they had a chance. They went out to Dallas the first time that they had a chance. 3-1 lead against San Jose and went out to them. 1-0 lead on Washington, lost all the games in a row. Yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. I think they can do it. I don't know that they're going to do it, though. They're going to need great performances out of a lot of people. Hill or Thompson for Game 6, I don't think it matters. If the Golden Knights are going to win the game, they're going to defend by having the puck more. That's how it's going to have to work. That's the only way I see. That's the only path that I see to getting this done. So the goalie shouldn't make a difference. Which one's less likely to make the big gaffe that gives them a goal and buries you? I don't even know. I don't even have the answer to that. I don't know. They barely got shots in the third period. Hill hasn't been very good in third periods. So I don't know. Who would I play? Probably Thompson. I think there's a little bit more of the excitement in how he plays there, and I think the team might need some of it. Might need one of those big saves that gives themselves an opportunity, maybe, but I don't think it matters. I do not think it matters. I don't think it matters whether it's Whitecloud or Hutton. I do not think it matters if it's Dorofeev or Mantha or Kolazar or Cotter or Mason Morelli. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm just saying it's not going to matter. It's the best players that have to play better. Vegas's top players are getting outplayed by Dallas's top players. And some of them aren't even like, it's not even necessarily Dallas's top players. One of the best players is Logan Stankoven. Rupe Hintz hasn't been very good, has not had a big series to this point. Tyler Seguin, biggest impact in the series is nearly taking a major and then nearly drawing a major. So that's what we got. Who is the one player you'd pick to perform at their best for the rest of the team to come with them? I think it's probably Pietrangelo, because Pietrangelo's seeming like the mistakes that are happening from him are seemingly hurting them to a point where that's actually costing them goals, where I don't necessarily feel that about Hertl. I don't necessarily feel that about Stone. I would say it's probably going to be, it's almost certainly got to be Pietrangelo. I don't agree with this, by the way. I don't think Cassidy is getting out coached by Pete DeBoer. I do think Pete DeBoer's system is working, and I think Pete DeBoer's system is doing the job that it needs to do, and it's making life very difficult for the Golden Knights to have extended ozone time. That is happening. That is a good job in Pete DeBoer's system. However, Vegas' system is not the reason they're losing. They very, very rarely, I'm trying to think of any, I guess maybe the Dodonov odd angle shot. I can't think of many times where Cassidy's defensive system has led to them giving up goals. It's just not happening. Like, the breakouts fail. That's not on the system. The play is there. The setup is there. We've seen it win a Stanley Cup. So to simply say, like, Cassidy's system isn't working or he's getting out coached, I don't see it. All the changes that they made today, what do you want the coach to do? What more can the coach do than all of the changes that they made today? And yet the game comes and goes and none of the changes mattered. The goalie didn't matter. What's he supposed to do? Not change it and it doesn't matter, or change it and it doesn't matter. Change on the lines, it doesn't matter. Like, the best players, the important players, the guys that drive the team aren't driving the team in the last 4 games. That's the difference. And no, I don't think they're moving away from the system. I do not believe that they are playing some sort of wacky defensive system that's not to the style that they are supposed to be playing. That's not what's happening. They're not getting blown out in these games. They're not like under fire the entire game. They were in game 3. They haven't been. They didn't play the system in game 3. They were a disaster in game 3. This time, the difference is they're not holding the puck long enough to actually operate the way that they need to in the offensive zone. And that is, again, not being able to make the individual plays that they have to have. And this is also wrong. There is a system. There absolutely are systems. The Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup because of the system. Like, it's that simple. The Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup last year because they were phenomenal in front of their own goal, and they utilized breakouts to get going the other way, to get dangerous chances. And then, in the last piece, they held the puck in the offensive zone against all 4 teams that they played last year. They were great at getting it in deep, getting it underneath the circles, holding it there, and cycling it until you wore the other team down and found that opportunity. That's not happening in the last 3 games. It just isn't happening enough. It happened a little bit more today than maybe it did in game 4, but it's not happening enough. The best players have to make that happen. If that means activating defensemen more, if that means holding the puck more, if that means loading up the one line, who are the best 3 players? Put them all together. I'm not even sure what that answer is because I don't even know who the best 3 players have been. Nonetheless, that's where we're at. Is it Ottinger or the Stars defense? It's much more the Stars defense than Ottinger. I think Ottinger has been fine. I think Ottinger has made a couple of big-time saves. Obviously, the one late in this game was a massive one. But to me, it has not been Ottinger that is the reason they've gotten back in this series. I mean, he even gave the Golden Knights a goal today. That wraparound chance is ridiculous. Like, there's no way that should go in. So to me, it's not that. It's the Stars defense. They are outplaying the Golden Knights. It's that simple. They've outplayed them in their own end. Vegas cannot get chance after chance after chance. Think back. Here's a good example. I'll leave you on this. Think back to Game 5 against Florida. So the Golden Knights have an opportunity to clinch the series. They've got, I don't even remember what the score was. I want to say it was 3-1 at the time. The Golden Knights had like 9 opportunities on the same offensive zone draw. If you're in our Discord, we've dubbed it the rat trap shift. They basically could not allow the puck out of the zone. It was not going to happen. Florida had probably 7 exit attempts. It didn't happen. Vegas got chance after chance after chance after chance, and they were getting better and better and better. And eventually, finally, shot pass, Smith pops it into a wide open net. That's not happening in this particular series. I will admit, though, part of that, Dallas this season is better than that Florida team with Matt Tkachuk's sternum broken in half. This team's better. It's harder, but you've got to operate in a way that you get some of that. You've got to find some of that. It has not necessarily happened enough. I have a problem with that and believing that all of a sudden it is going to happen because there's a lot of guys that have to play better. Can they all play better? Hopefully. That's all I got. Like, I don't know how you can look at these 3 games and say they're definitely going to get better. Definitely not a playoff beard. I'm shaving it the moment I get home. I've been traveling, as it turns out. Thanks to VKDAC.com for sponsoring all of our travel. Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling. No, I don't do playoff beards. I never will again. My beard was itchy for 3 months. I'm never doing it again. What about Hurdle, Mantha, and Howden on the third line? Yeah, I think that is an option. I don't think it's going to be very effective. I don't know who drives that line. Hurdle's not going to drive a line right now. How many of our key players are injured, not 100% outside of Carlson? Well, I guess Stone is coming back from a spleen injury. Maybe he's not 100%, but he's out there. If you're out there, you got to be close enough. Pietrangelo came off an appendectomy. Maybe he's not 100%. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I know the other team has injuries. I know last season Vegas had injuries that went on. Braden McNabb had a broken rib for a good portion of the first half of the playoffs. Didn't matter. Play the game. If you can't play and you're not good enough, and if it's Mark Stone says, I'm not good enough to be the player that's going to help, then take him out. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're at that point. That's not where we're heading, but I don't like the excuses. I don't even want to hear it. I don't like any of it. So to me, you just play better. Find a way to find a lineup that's going to play better. And the problem is the lineup doesn't even really matter. I've been over this. That's all I got. Thanks again to the Jimmerson Law Firm for sponsoring this Periscope and all Periscopes this season. We'll do another one after Game 6. Hopefully, that's not the end of the season 1. Hopefully, that's not the end of this team as the Stanley Cup champions. Hopefully, we get to start the next podcast, which I don't know when that's going to be, but whenever we do, we're saying hello. I'm choking over trying to say it even. Hello, the Golden Knights are Stanley Cup champions. Hopefully we get to say that one more time, at least. I'm not sure it's going to happen. They need to play their best game. The best game of the series for the Golden Knights offensively must come in Game 6. And then probably they must have Game 7 even better than that one. I hope that happens. We will see. That's all I got for tonight. Good night.